Hello everybody, my name is RPG and welcome back to Let's Play Shiny Force 3. So, today's episode we have decided not to go and chase Spiriel. He's going to go and break a statue that is literally the only thing holding back the evil forces of darkness from destroying the world. And we're going to go sit in this lovely little town of Vagabond, where they live in tents and tootle around a bit. We will see them occasionally, I think, in possibly again in this scenario, possibly in scenario 2 as well. There's a couple of things I want to pick up in here, and there is actually like two really important things for getting characters later on down the line. I'm going to use the shop first. I do really want a sleep wand. We will give this to Masquerin. She's not going to equip it, she's just going to hang on to it. And then we'll have a look at what else we got available. I think I've already got the steel knife, so I don't need that. I've already got the broadsword. I've already got the iron lance and the power spears. New tomahawk for Albright. I am not going to... Actually, is that a throwing axe that he's got already? Yeah, sell that. Brilliant. I think the other axe is probably technically better for him to hold, so he'll be using that most of the time. Steel arrow... Hayward's got this already, I think. Silver wing. This is the only other item I think that we're going to need to pick up from here, which is a nice boost for Elder. Apart from that, there's just a couple of people to talk to, and there's pretty much nothing else to do in here. It's a very, very brief little interlude. I might buy a couple of herbs. Do you have anything in deals? Nope. I can buy healing drops now. I don't have much money though, but we'll give Symbios a herb. We'll give Danterez a herb. I know I still need to use that bright honey, so I'll probably do that at the end of this episode. Masculine you can keep, as you got loads. Grace, you don't really need a herb. Irene doesn't. Julian does. Cybel's fine. Elder's fine. Khan doesn't. Noon doesn't. We'll give Khan one now. I've already clicked it. Alright, so that's done for the shopping front. It's a good job I didn't spend all my money actually, because I do need 100 gold for one of the last little items. It's quite nice, this little town actually, because it seems very... It's twice now I've just skipped through that, not expecting it to continue. It's very different to kind of a lot of the towns we've come across so far. Everyone doesn't really seem to be involved in the conflict. This lady is obviously talking about Spiriel, who's tootled on through here. So although they're obviously not massively involved in the conflict, they are mentioning that it's a bit more difficult. This is the shop I was looking for. I say shop, the tent I was looking for. Because this egg is something that I want. No, I don't want you to make an omelette out of it. Not at all. And I would like to buy it for 100 gold. You could buy all kinds of things for that 100 gold, like 10 herbs. Or not really a great deal else. Other things we're going to need to pick up from in the town. We need this, which is the treasure map for this chapter. This barrel, I think, yep. It's got a health bread tucked away in it. I'll be giving that to Symbios. So hopefully I remember this time that we'll get Symbios 4 health, Masquerin 4 mana. I think, is this the tent I'm looking for? No, yeah, I think this is the tent I'm looking for. Pardon me, the tent I'm looking for. It doesn't even give him the option to buy his junk. That'd have been nice. I like buying random tat. I think it might be this barrel. Not that I can line up with it particularly well. There we go, a large mithril. Again, we don't really need to collect all of these. There's some that I've just ignored and left. I definitely didn't pick them all up in Saraband at the very start. Because you don't need all of them to be able to make a full set of decent weapons for all of your characters. I'm gonna wait for this child and see what this child's got to say actually. Alright. Okay, well I'm not sure if I regret talking to him or not at this point. No, I think he is the best nomad, quite possibly. On the other side of the Great Wall. Oh, interesting. An ancient city of steam. Well, I mean, that's certainly an ancient city of evil. And then tucked away in this corner, we got Ratchet again. He's not going to join us. but you do need to talk to him here in order to have him join later on down the line. After this, the next time we find him, he will actually join the party. But if you don't talk to him here, I don't think he appears again. So, although you don't have to come here, you do kind of screw yourself out of a couple of different things if you don't. So, I mean, you'll miss the treasure map for one, you miss Ratchet, you miss picking up the egg, which I think there might be a... I think the tree stump might actually be a headquarters, in which case I'll pop down there in a moment and sort the egg out, because I think I've done it right to actually hatch the egg. So is that Republican soldiers? Yeah, so some Republican forces have crossed over ahead of us somewhere. That's good to know. Right, so there's a couple of things in here. I don't remember which barrel it is actually, or if it's a crate. I think it's a barrel. Might not be this side, might be over here. But there's one more item that I want to pick up. It's not a particularly good item. But I'd rather have it than not have it. I'm not sure who I'll even use it on. It's a very, very niche item. Right, so the railroad's having an effect on the caravan itself in terms of trade. Garvin really is evil, I guess. Oh, sorry, man. I guess you'll have to start counting again. No, I don't think it is a nature to be merciless. I mean, so far I've basically killed everything in sight, with the sole exception of, I think, that one kobold that was respawning forever back in Chapter 1. But, you know, I would say that I am slightly merciful. There will be a time, off the top of my head, I can think of at least 2 enemies that don't respawn that I will be sparing. But that's because they are actually useful for other things. One of these has got an item in. I can't remember which one it is. I can't remember if it's a crate or it is a box. Right, the Swift Boots. I am going to really quickly dot some stuff around now, because this silver ring, there's no point me keeping it on Symbios. Well, I mean, actually, technically, I could put it on him, and it would be an upgrade, and it would make him basically invincible and give him huge luck. But I don't think I'll bother. Does anyone not have an accessory that could really benefit from it? I mean, I guess Noon, maybe, but we'll give it to Grace. You can trade the health bread for it. Equip the silver ring, and who picks up the boots? Hayward. Right, all these boots do is they give you agility, +5 agility, and they allow you to cast the support level 1 spell if used. I could put them on Khan and make him really quick, but I think because Hayward's actually got nothing equipped, he might as well have them. Oh, he just gave them to himself, I didn't even realise. And equip that. Oh, he can't. Oh, okay then. So it was... That was definitely telling me that Hayward would get +5, right? Yeah, well, I guess he can't equip them. Okay. Let's try Noon. Okay. Noon will now be the fastest mage. And still won't really be used for anything, but he's quick, I guess. He's got that going for him. Last thing to talk to here. I can't remember if this is required in order for Justin to actually join you. So I think he might actually be skippable if you don't come here and do this, but I could be wrong on that. He's a Republican soldier. He's obviously not massively wounded, unlike the 2 nameless, faceless mooks in green that are lying on the bed, writhing around in agony. But for whatever reason, he's still behind, and he's from Will Edmund's unit. It stands to reason then that the Republican unit that battled the Imperials and pressed over the bridge was probably Edmund's unit. So it's nice to know that he's alive and well, because we haven't seen him since literally the beginning of the game. So he is slightly injured, but not a great deal. And it sounds like he has an argument with his commanding officer, which doesn't generally end well. So now he's just sat behind in the medical tent next to his comrades that are just horribly wounded, lying around on the beds. So they had an argument, but he is still loyal to General Edmund. That's interesting. And he won't discuss it with the king. Oh, that's fair enough, really. So he's not actually going to join us here, but as we go to leave the town, he will spring up and join the force. It's notable because I will talk to these people really quickly. He's the 13th party member that we will be getting. You can only field 12 at a time. So by default, he will be automatically benched. And Justin joins as a promoted character, just like Noon. So I won't be putting him in. I'll be leaving him where he is. This will be true for a lot of the characters that come promoted. There's a few more characters that we're going to get. Most of them are just going to go straight into the bench, and then they'll get a little bit of use towards the end of the game, but they won't be in the main force. Generally speaking, the characters you get early on are usually better than the ones that join later. It's not always true with the Shining Force series, but it is particularly true for Scenario 1 of number 3. Purely because, especially if you promote slightly later than level 10, the extra stats that you gain, although it's quite small, generally gives them a bit of an edge. I will actually show the screen for promotion at some point before I do it. Because technically speaking, I could be promoting my characters now, but I'm not going to be doing so until the beginning of Chapter 4. That's generally when the game expects you to have promoted and the difficulty spike gets really, really high. So I wasn't really paying attention to what Justin was saying, but presumably he's still not going to tell us about what's going on with General Edmund, but he's going to come fight with us. So he's a bow knight. I think he's the only bow knight in Scenario 1. There's another one in Scenario 2. They're a centaur with a bow. But unlike the centaur units that have got a range of 7, I'm pretty sure his range is only 5. And he has centaur movement, which means he gets really, really hindered by poor terrain. Yeah, we've gotten enough rest. Let's get out there. So, I'm planning to let this little bit of event play out at the start. And then I'm going to leave the episode there. I am going to egress out of this battle, back into Vagabond, use the health bread on Symbios and the bright honey on Mascarin, while it's actually fresh in my memory, and then come back into this battle from there. But I'm going to be making no changes to the actual formation. I'm not changing the items on anybody either. So it'll just be the small stat upgrades that we're going in with. And again, the Spiral's army would have made it all the way over there, even if we'd chosen not to go to Vagabond. It's basically a pointless decision. In that you need really, if you're going for all the characters, you need to go to Vagabond. There's literally you can't come over here. Right. So with that aside, I'm going to leave this episode here. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.